Now, I really did not know if I should make this video and reveal to the world just how broken YouTube is, but then again I have told multiple YouTube staff members well over a year ago that this overpowered algorithm bug still existed, and, well, it's only gotten worse. So I'm afraid YouTube has actually forced my hand on this one, and I have to reveal to the world just how broken this feature is, because at the end of the day, if I don't end up revealing it sooner or later, the entire platform is going to be flooded with a whole bunch of K-pop and corporate YouTube channels abusing this feature to their heart's content, and no one really being able to stop them. But just how broken is this exploit, I hear you ask? Well, if I was to use this exploit, I could theoretically stop uploading entirely on my channel and still gain more views and interactions than I have ever managed previously. Now, of course, I'm sorry about the classically clickbaity thumbnail and title that this video probably has, but hey, this is actually broken and needs to be shown to as many people as possible, so here we are. Because if I can force YouTube's hand because everyone starts abusing it, then guess what? YouTube is forced to fix it, and that way everything is good and balance is restored to the algorithm. So what is this exploit that basically turns YouTube into easy mode? Well, when you think of channels breaking YouTube, it's easy to think of a few stereotypes of viral success. The classic 17-year-old Minecraft player, makeup channels having drama with each other, and my personal favorite, dystopian mega company mass-producing videos for children at a rate that demolishes all other content creators. Seriously, if you haven't heard of CoComelon, say hello to the channel that will now overtake PewDiePie in the next few days. This channel gains over 3 billion views a month. In comparison, PewDiePie has less than a % of that each month in terms of views. Now, of course, these are old exploits when it comes to YouTube. They're tricky to pull off. Not everyone is a 17-year-old Minecraft player, and not everyone has access to 14,000 SEO analysts. To pull off something like CoComelon, you'd need a huge amount of market research and trend analysis to actually properly break the algorithm. For this glitch, however, we're going to be accidentally having a similar impact by using nothing more than my bare hands and about 4 minutes of work. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the most overpowered YouTube feature is the YouTube community posts and stories. That's right, it's those little YouTube features that got added in a few years ago after YouTube decided to create its own legally and copyright-free distinct versions of the basic features of Snapchat and Twitter. Well, I'm afraid in fact these new features are completely and utterly broken. Now, when it comes to content creators who actually abuse the community posts, well, guess what? Allow me to present to you none other than Dream. That's right, one of the brand new largest channels on YouTube. He exploded across the entire year of 2020, where he went from over the span of just 2 years, less than 100,000 subscribers, to now well over 16 million. How did he do this? Well, not only did he make a whole bunch of very algorithmically optimized Minecraft content, he also used the community tabs as much as possible. Dream averages around about 1 to 2 community posts a month, and his community posts are garnering millions and millions of views each. Dream is then using this algorithmic dominance in the community tab section to push his videos even harder in recommendations. But just how on earth does it work? And how can you abuse this feature to become exactly like Dream? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got an algorithm exploit to show off. Now, it is going to take a little bit of wordy mathematics, but trust me, they're all very simple, and they are necessary to understand just how broken this exploit is. So let's throw ourselves into it. Now, what are YouTube community posts? Well, if you're on PC or you're on mobile and you only follow a few select creators, then there's a small chance that you've actually never run into one of these bad boys. However, if you're on mobile and you've accidentally clicked on one single K-pop music video, then enjoy the fiery monstrosity of spam that has now been sent your way. Community posts are a feature that YouTube added way back in 2019, and they're honestly a great addition to the platform. It was intended for a new way for creators to send out announcements or do Q&As on their channel without creating tiny announcement videos which ruin their own channel's average video statistics. Now, of course, any channel with more than 1,000 subscribers has access to this feature, and so naturally, basically everyone on the internet tried them. And generally speaking, they didn't perform well at all. So the feature is almost completely and utterly abandoned by all content creators on the platform. The reason they didn't perform well is because, well, they're a brand new feature, no one knew how to use them, audiences didn't know how to interact with them, and more importantly, because everyone tried to do them at the exact same time, they were massively oversaturated in the algorithm. So everyone abandoned them. Now picture this, you are YouTube. You just made this exciting brand new feature and none of your creators are using it because guess what? It doesn't perform well and it's clunky to use. Are you going to A, scrap the feature and try again, or B, make improvements to it while subtly boosting its promotion on the back end? And so began the death snowball of chaos, where every few minor updates to the community feature saw it gain a minor boost in the algorithm. This of course still didn't make the feature popular with creators because everyone had a bad memory of the community tab when they were first introduced, and so they never returned to give them another try. But of course, with no one actually using the community posts and YouTube repeatedly boosting it in the back end, oh no, YouTube had just created the perfect storm that launched launches these posts into the stratosphere of the algorithm. My goodness. Now, of course, before I go any further, I would like to thank my very lovely contacts at YouTube, Microsoft, and a non-disclosed K-pop record label for helping me see just how broken this feature is. So thank you very much for your help, you majestic tea-drinking buggers. Also, I do want to disclose that this feature is fantastic, and alongside the new channel membership features that YouTube has been adding, they've honestly been doing some great things for content creators, so thank you very much. Plus, they also handle copyright claims better than Twitch, so it's now also the best place to live stream. I know that is a very heretical thing to say, but I'm like one of the 5 people who live stream on YouTube, so I guess that makes me the 5th largest live streamer on the platform. Oh god, it's so lonely here. Now, just how broken is this feature? Well, as I mentioned, because no one actually uses it and it gets preferential treatment in the algorithm, you've ended up with an accidental goldmine where community posts receive more views than videos. Now, you would expect a community post to only be shown to the community of a channel, right? The people who watch and are majestic enough to have subscribed to my channel, for example, should be the only people to receive my posts. However, that's not how the system works. Oh god, that's not how the system works. These posts are shown to people who have just seen your videos, for example, but then they're also shown to people who watch games or topics that you make videos on. Like, for example, if I make a Skyrim video, then if you watch other Skyrim videos, you'll probably be shown my community post. But then something went wrong, because they're also shown to people who just have never heard of you or anything you do. Oh dear god, that is not how the system should work. Oh no, now this couldn't possibly be exploited for profit now, could it, YouTube? No, there's no way anyone would do that. No, we're all too kind and generous. No one would exploit the algorithm, YouTube. But the thing is, of course, I'm an exploiter, and I don't just want this post to be viewed by the same amount of people who watch a video, because I know that these community posts can reach audiences that my videos never can. So how do we guarantee that more people see this community post? Well, when it comes to videos actually being pushed in the algorithm, YouTube uses 4 general metrics to decide who should see what video. The title of the video, the description of the video, the tags in the video, and finally the actual video game or topic that the video is covering. That way the algorithm can ensure that the right person sees the right video, and generally speaking, the algorithm does a decent job of it. But the issue is, community posts don't have titles, they also don't have tags, and they also don't have designated topics. So how on earth does YouTube decide who to show the community post to? Well, it judges this entire metric based off of the key terms that are inside the community post itself, meaning if, I don't know, a random British person who has a relatively decent audience and drinks a copious amount of tea were to happen upon a giant list of the most popular search terms of the last week or two, and then he were to put those search terms in the community post? Oh no, and that meant YouTube would just recommend the post to absolutely everyone? Oh no, YouTube. But wait, that's not all, because guess what? YouTube also included a way to double the traction of community posts. That's right, those lovely boffins over at Microsoft did a whole bunch of testing in their community post tab and discovered if the owner of the account that did the community post, i.e. yourself, were to leave a comment on your own community post, then bam, that post immediately receives double the traction that it normally would. Why on earth is this a feature? I have no idea. Now, I have exploited this feature before. That's right. In the past 2 years ago, I used a community poll to gain thousands of subscribers by simply having it appear in the recommendations of people to remind them to subscribe to me. This was when I first started to notice that community posts were completely broken, as at the time 10% of the people who actually voted in the poll had never heard of my channel before. Now, at the time, 2 years ago, my channel had only 100,000 subscribers, and this post gained 27,000 votes. 70% of these votes came from my subscribers who knew my channel. This makes sense, meaning however that 8,100 votes from this poll were people who really shouldn't have seen the post. Now, of course, if we take the average engagement rate of YouTube, which is the metric determining how many people actually interact with a video or a poll, and the rate that YouTube discloses is an average of 4%. Now, of course, that metric is exceedingly high, and the real number is probably much lower than that. 1 in 20 people do not interact with a community post. It is probably closer to 1 or 2% of people interact with a community post, but I don't want to sensationalize the statistics at all, so we'll be using the higher end of measurements. So if only 4% of people engage with the post, then that means a total of 200,000 people saw this post without ever seeing my content before. Now, for a channel with only 100,000 subscribers, it's pretty insane to know that 200,000 people who aren't subscribed to you are able to see one of your community posts, especially when you consider that anyone who interacted with the poll is more likely to get recommended my videos in the future. And this effect was exactly what happened on my channel. The effects of the poll were pretty much instantaneous for my channel. I gained 8,000 subscribers in one single day, and all my future videos had a massively increased viewership. Now, this snowball of course continued into the 1.8 million subscribers that you now see here today. But remember, this was 2 years ago with a tiny channel that had 100,000 subscribers. But what would happen now if a channel had 1.8 million subscribers followers and did that exact same post? Well, there was only one way to find out. So I did 2 community posts just to test how broken this feature was. The first post was just a standard picture post containing a picture of my absolutely gorgeous corgi and some text alongside a metric ton of popular YouTube search terms. This post over a 24-hour period managed to gain 81,000 likes and over 2 million views. 2 million views in 24 hours is more than double what any of my videos have ever achieved. I've only had one video gain 1 million views over a 24-hour period, and that is it. The fact that a community post is able to beat that is not only unfair, it is just insane. Now, after 5 days, that post has managed to achieve 130,000 likes, and if we assume that 4% of the people that viewed the post actually liked it, then we can estimate that the post has been viewed 3.2 million times. That is over 3 times the average amount of views that I get on a video. So if we were to take a more realistic percentage of between 2 and 3%, then there's a real chance that that post has actually been seen by 6.5 million people. This is more than my best video has ever managed. And it's on a community post, which has just been spammed by a whole bunch of copy-pasted lists of top search terms. And then the comment section of that community post is just my audience spamming even more insane search terms. But if you think this is overpowered, well, you haven't seen anything yet. That post was like a refreshing cup of Yorkshire Tea Red Label. This next exploit post is like Yorkshire Tea Gold being pumped directly into your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present to you the community poll. Okay, so before I show off just how broken the community poll is, I need to explain to you just a few ways the basic algorithm on YouTube works. So at the moment, beyond videos' titles, descriptions, and tags on YouTube, YouTube generally promotes content based off of audience interaction. If the audience likes the video and comments on the video, well, those are 2 interactions, and YouTube loves interactions. But what YouTube really loves are not 1,000 people liking a video and 1,000 people commenting on it, but if the exact same 1,000 people both liked and commented on the video. That multiple interaction really is what matters. It's a sign that the video was so impressive that audiences wanted to engage with it as much as possible. You can even try this out at home by liking this video and commenting on it. Hey, see what I did there? Because it really does prove that you really enjoyed the video. You have to remember that the vast majority of people don't like a video and don't comment on a video. Heck, on average, 30% of people don't even watch a video after the 30-second mark. That is an insane statistic, but it's just the world we live in. Now, a community poll is a unique bit of content on YouTube, as it also allows a third way for users to interact. They can interact on the poll, that's right. Now, if we think the same person liking and commenting has 2 times the impact on the algorithm, then think that someone voting, liking, and commenting as having 3 times the impact. Because if anything, it has more than 3 times the impact. It's like it cubes the impact. It is absolutely insane just how broken voting is. So I decided to make a poll. It was a very basic poll, it was an exact copy of the poll I did 2 years ago, and so after being up for less than 2 days, that community poll has already overtaken the previous post, which has been up for almost 6 days. This level of triple interaction basically is guaranteed that the community poll gets definitely more than twice as many views and interactions as the post, which already has gotten more views than my normal videos. Now, this community poll has been up for less than 2 days, and it already has more likes than 99% of the videos on my channel. I only have 2 videos on this channel which have more than 141,000 likes. This is completely and utterly broken. Equally, by looking at the results of the poll, you can already notice something. 11% of the people who voted in this poll selected the "Who are you? YouTube is broken" option. This basically tells us that they don't know who our channel is, they've never seen any of our content before, and this is absolutely insane, because this means there are tens of thousands of people who are seeing this poll who have never heard of me before, but because they voted in this poll, they're going to start getting recommended my videos, because guess what? That counts as interacting with my channel. So these tens of thousands of people have shown interest in my content and will now be shown it. So potentially, if you selected this option here, you might be a subscriber watching this video later down the line, in which case, hello. But the thing is, the 11% mark here is actually deceptive, because it is a greatly higher number than that who have actually seen it who don't know what my channel is. The reasoning is simple. The average interaction rate for my channel, whilst it does sit around about 3%, it gets lower and lower the more people don't actually know who I am. Because whilst people who have subscribed to me generally have a 6% chance of interacting with my content, people who don't subscribe to me but watch my content have a slightly lower percentage chance, and people who have never heard of my content probably have a less than 1% chance of actually interacting with my poll, or even liking it, or doing anything with it. These people aren't likely to react in any way, and yet thousands and thousands of them have, which means there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of them more who didn't. Whilst this only makes up around about 40,000 votes on this poll, really the statistic is even higher, because those 40,000 votes probably represent only 0.2% of people who have seen this poll who actually fit into into this category, meaning there are millions of people who shouldn't have seen this poll who have been recommended it. But in total, just how many people have seen this poll? Now, in total, this post has 500,000 interactions on it, making it the most interacted piece of content I've ever created. And if we take 500,000 interactions and then imagine that 1 in 20 people actually interacted with it, then we can make a low-end prediction of just how many people have seen this post so far. In total, we're able to predict that this post here, which has been up for less than 2 days, has been seen by 12.8 million people. That's right, 12.8 million people. I don't have 12.8 million subscribers. I don't have access to a community that can even draw 12.8 million views on a video. This video itself will never achieve 12.8 million views. This is completely and utterly broken. It should not work this way. It was never intended to work this way. And dear God, YouTube, please fix your algorithm. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this poll has only been up for less than 2 days. By the time this video is released, this poll will have been up for around about 4 days. And I can hazard a prediction that it will probably be sat instead somewhere around about the 20 million view mark. Of course, we are using the 1 in 20 interaction rate. If we were to use a more realistic 1 in 40 interaction rate, we're going to be able to work out probably a more accurate quantity of people who viewed this video. If we use the metric that 1 in 40 people who saw this post interacted with it, then ladies and gentlemen, this post right here has achieved 25.7 million views. That's right, this poll right here has achieved 25 million views. I just can't. I just literally can't. Now, if you're a YouTuber and you're sat there and you're watching this video, heck, you might not even be a big YouTuber. You might be a YouTuber with 100,000 subscribers, in which case, congratulations, you have access to this community tab. What I want you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to break the internet. We need to force YouTube's hand to get this feature fixed, and we're going to do so using the only way I know how, by exploiting the system so hard we force their hand. So what I'd like you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is very simple. If you're a content creator, then go over to the community tab of this video here and copy and paste this entire poll and post it on your own channel. You will get thousands of subscribers, you will get millions of views. This feature is broken and it shouldn't exist, it needs to be fixed. And the only way we're going to get it fixed is to exploit everything along the way. And also, if you're a YouTuber, you might as well use this feature as much as you can before YouTube fixes it, so make sure to share it to all of your YouTube friends so that you can get their channels nice and big too before YouTube inevitably clamps down and destroys this feature, or in the very least makes it work the way it's intended to. But if you're still not sure that this is going to be very useful for your channel, allow me to show you some very fun statistics of what's happened to my channel after I've done these community posts. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what this has meant for my channel is that I have gained an additional 40% subscribers this month. That's right, community posts have meant that my channel is growing at an incredibly fast rate, which I have never ever expected before. Over the last few days, we've gained thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers, when realistically I should have been gaining just maybe 1,000 or 2,000 a day maximum. This feature is very broken. Equally, my 2 uploads which have gone up after the community posts have performed more than above average in terms of views and impressions. This is telling me that the community posts are also helping push my channel in the algorithm. So whilst I said earlier that I could stop uploading and still get more views, technically speaking, than ever before, this exploit, when paired with uploading, is even more powerful because it drags more people into being marked as being in your community because they interacted on a poll or saw a poll, and YouTube will start recommending your content to them. This is an insanely broken mechanic because it effectively allows you to monopolize your sphere of the internet. It is completely and utterly broken. It should not exist, and I absolutely love it. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Community polls and community posts are completely and utterly broken. If you've enjoyed this video, then hey, feel free to give it one of your very own engagements by liking it or commenting on it. But more importantly, you can do your part by sharing this around the internet to make sure we get it fixed as soon as possible, because already large companies are starting to exploit this mechanic to become massively powerful and push independent content creators off of the platform, which is definitely not what we want to see. So do your part and make sure you force YouTube's hand on fixing this. Equally, at the same time, you might want to consider subscribing, because YouTube has released a few new incredible features onto the platform, including short videos. Now, I haven't been able to do a huge amount of research into them, but let me tell you that they're also pretty uniquely balanced. But I'm afraid this video is already far too long, so I'll have to save all of that for another day. And if you want to be there for that day, then heck, you can even turn on the notifications. A mechanic which is so broken, not even YouTube knows if it works or not. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I've been the Spiffing Brit. Thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope to see as many of you down in the comment section as possible. I'm sure you'll be spamming search terms or questions as much as possible, so don't worry, I'll make sure to be down there. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this exploit and you'd like to see me exploit more things, be it video games, be it Steam summer sales, be it the G2A loot boxes, well, guess what? I've got a whole bunch of exploits on this channel, so why not watch one of these on screen now? Anyway, I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have an absolutely lovely day, and goodbye for now.